Welcome back to part 4 of GBR Insights, where Alexander and I have been discussing topics around digital transformation and lean. Today, we're going to talk about how we believe successful change management requires a top-down support from leadership. You know, we often see expressions like digital leadership, resilient leaders, agile organizations, but are we talking about new principles and values here? Meanwhile, on the human side, the area of leadership is probably showing the most convincing arguments for the successful transformation of lean enterprises. Can you give us an example of this?
Oh, sure, Hannah. Let's start with an anecdote. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to participate in a digital transformation survey as part of a larger company audit, together with a well-known seasoned consultant, author of many articles and books around integrated digitalization, especially in the German-speaking countries. We were interviewing 3 leaders of a manufacturing company: the general manager, the chief executive officer, the vice president of research and development, and the VP, the vice president of manufacturing. The first statement after the introduction we got to hear from the manufacturing VP was, well, Alexander Klaus, you are preaching the seamless process integration along the digital value chain across all departments. However, this is not practical in our organization, as the research and development people don't talk to us. And meanwhile, the CIO, the general manager, was busy looking on his smartphone. The reaction of my seasoned colleague came very prompt and blunt. He said, Mr. General Manager, he addressed him just by his role and not by his name.
Right.
Are you listening to your direct reports? They are complaining about the lack of communication between research and development and manufacturing. And you are playing on your phone? Why are you on the payroll of this company?
Wow, that's very direct indeed.
Yes, in fact, unfortunately, this is not an anecdote, but unfortunate reality. In more than one company, as we discovered during our audits and research work. Yeah, I think one of the basics of lean management is the Gemba, so-called the Gemba work, or management by working around, another name. It's a very well-established principle in lean management. And the spirit of Gemba tells something like a manager's task is to gain new insights and perspective from the employees, as well as the clients, of course, from their point of view. So a supervisor should gain an overview by asking specific questions, give specific feedback, guiding employees in such a way that they are able to recognize causes and correlations and better respond to challenge in an independent and sustainable manner. This is a relevant component of lean management, and it aims to support continuous improvement.
I would say, in addition, there is a social component through the upgrading of each individual, and which in turn has a motivating effect on the staff. And it makes sense, as we have seen in our previous video where we discussed about change management. Employees are encouraged by the Gemba walk, as you say, to actively contribute to optimize processes by making suggestions.
Yeah, exactly. Correct, Hannah. Actually, lean leadership is very simple. It is based on a very simple principle. It says develop and improve the problem-solving competence of your associates, of your team. Supervisors or sensei or mentors, how we call them in lean management, are supposed to coach their team members to practice improvement, if possible, at the lowest organizational level. This is exactly what happened in Company B, the lean digital one, where the quality management team, supported by their managers, have designed and implemented a new service center. Many failed projects in the digital world are due to the fact that supervisors don't trust their employees. Though meanwhile, we have smart algorithms that are delivering the right information to take the right decision at the right time. Most of it on tidy and fancy dashboards. more than one old school supervisor is refusing to transfer accountability to his shift operators.
Mm. I mean, considering it from this angle, it's not surprising that in an organization that fails to offer a clear perspective, in other words, what is in it for them? You simply cannot empower people as long as managers refuse to share their knowledge.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true. But you see, here is the big advantage, the huge advantage of lean leaders. They understand how to delegate work, responsibility, and empowerment in a healthy mix of challenging and encouraging. They are encouraging their collaborators however, without overtaxing them. That's important. And acting this way, they can dedicate more time for strategic activities, and at the same time, the team members are progressing into more demanding jobs and promoting their professional career.
Mm-mm. And as a result, this behavior automatically creates an atmosphere of trust, of respect, and self-motivation. On the other hand, it is of little use when so-called resilient and charismatic leaders preach the agile organization without really delegating responsibility or decision-making authority to their employees.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah, on top of this, we also have to consider or to be aware that building such a fertile environment, organizational environment where technology, processes, organizational changes, and humans are collaborating in harmony takes years of persistent work rather than months or weeks.
That's some sobering analysis, Alexander. Confirming the results of how lean leadership influences the change management process and ultimately builds a culture of trust and mutual respect. I mean, trust and respect is crucial when it comes to success of an organization. Well, thank you once again for joining us today. Thank you to everyone who watched our discussion. Let us go now and put our knowledge into practice. Join us next time.
Thank you, Hannah. See you next time.